Our story begins in 2004, in the underbelly of Garibong, a district in Seoul, South Korea, notorious for its crime, illegal businesses, and underground dealings. This neighborhood is home to a mix of Korean locals and Chinese Korean immigrants, where the line between survival and power is dangerously thin. The air here is thick with tension. Streets are bustling, but not with everyday life. Rather with people who know that at any moment violence can erupt. The small shop owners keep their heads down, hoping to avoid unwanted attention, while the gangsters who run these streets walk with unchecked authority. Police presence is minimal, and corruption is deeply rooted. Location setup. The neon-lit streets flicker under a haze of cigarette smoke and damp air. In the distance, sirens wail, but no one looks. This is just another night in Garibong. Small businesses are forced to pay protection fees to local thugs, keeping the cycle of fear intact. Rival gangs mark their territories in alleyways, their logos spray-painted in hidden corners. At the center of it all, maintaining a delicate balance of power between these criminals, is one man, Detective Ma Seok-do. Detective Ma Seok-do, played by Ma Dong-seok, also known as Don Lee, is not your typical law enforcer. He's a walking force of nature, a cop who doesn't rely on paperwork and formal investigations, but rather on his fists, instincts, and street-smart tactics to maintain order. He is well-respected and feared by both criminals and fellow officers alike. Personality. Gruff, direct, and speaks in a low, authoritative tone. He doesn't waste words. His presence alone does the talking. Fighting style. Unlike the sleek, trained martial artists we see in many crime movies, Seok-do fights like a brawler, using raw power, slamming opponents against walls, and landing devastating punches that end fights in seconds. Street reputation. Criminals know that if Seok-do gets involved, the fight is already over. First major scene, the Bar Showdown. We get our first taste of Seok-do's street-style law enforcement when he enters a small, dimly lit bar, filled with gangsters from two rival factions, the Hyuk-sapa and the Venom Gang. These two groups have been operating under an uneasy truce, but tensions are at an all-time high. The air is thick with cigarette smoke and anticipation, as both sides are moments away from an all-out brawl. Glasses clink, low murmurs spread, and hands hover over weapons concealed in their jackets. Suddenly, the bar doors swing open. Seok-do enters, casually walking through the middle of the room. He doesn't say a word at first. He just sits down, orders a drink, and takes a slow sip. The gangsters exchange glances, unsure of what's about to happen. Then, in his signature calm yet terrifying voice, he speaks. "You all can fight if you want. But if you do, you know I'll be the only one left standing." A pause. The gangsters hesitate. No one wants to make the first move. One thug, a young and reckless member of the Venom Gang, scoffs. He stands up, trying to assert dominance. "Old man, you talk big, but let's see if you can back it up." Seok-do doesn't react. He simply exhales, taking another sip. And then, bam! In one swift motion, Seok-do launches his fist into the thug's chest, sending him crashing into a table. The bar erupts in chaos. Key action moments. Seok-do dodges a knife attack, twisting the attacker's arm and slamming him onto the floor. He grabs a wooden chair, smashing it across another gangster's back. With a single punch, he knocks out 3 men in quick succession. The remaining gang members freeze, realizing that this isn't just a cop, it's a monster in human form. When the dust settles, the fight is over in less than a minute. The gangsters groan on the ground, while Seok-do calmly picks up his drink and finishes it. The bartender, used to these types of encounters, simply sighs and starts cleaning up. Seok-do looks around the room and mutters, "That's enough for tonight. Next time, take your fight somewhere else." He then tosses a few bills on the counter and walks out as if nothing happened. What this scene establishes: Seok-do's authority. He doesn't need a badge or a gun to control a room. His presence alone is enough to strike fear. The balance of power. The Huksapa and Venom Gang are both forces in Garibong Dong, but Seok-do keeps them in check. His brutal efficiency. He doesn't waste time in fights. Every movement is precise, every hit calculated. The calm before the storm. As Seok-do leaves, the camera lingers on one of the beaten gangsters, struggling to get up. He pulls out his phone and makes a call. In the shadows, someone is listening. A new danger is on the horizon, and it's about to change everything. The rise of Jang Chen. Jang Chen is no ordinary gangster. He's a predator. Cold, calculated, and ruthless, he quickly gains control of Garibong Dong, eliminating anyone who stands in his way. The local gangs who once held power are now reduced to pawns in his larger scheme. Local businesses are given two choices: pay exorbitant protection fees or face destruction. He recruits hardened criminals from China, increasing his gang's strength and influence. Detective Ma Seok-do takes the fight to Jang Chen. Seok-do is no stranger to crime, but Jang Chen presents a different kind of challenge. His first attempt to arrest Jang Chen is met with a brutal counterattack. Jang Chen's men ambush Seok-do's squad, leading to a violent street brawl that ends with Seok-do barely escaping with his life. Seok-do realizes that Jang Chen has infiltrated the police department, ensuring that information about raids is leaked. In a dimly lit warehouse, Seok-do confronts Jang Chen for the first time. Instead of fighting, Jang Chen smirks and walks away, leaving Seok-do boiling with frustration. One of Seok-do's most trusted officers is kidnapped and executed as a warning, making it clear that Jang Chen isn't afraid to target law enforcement. As Jang Chen gains full control, violent riots break out in Garibong Dong. The once-controlled criminal underworld descends into absolute anarchy. Seok-do gathers intelligence from former gang members who have defected due to Jang Chen's excessive cruelty. Using old-school police tactics and sheer brute force, Seok-do begins taking down Jang Chen's operations one by one. He sets a trap, a fake arms deal designed to lure Jang Chen out of hiding. Escalating toward the climax. The operation is a success, but Jang Chen manages to escape, setting the stage for the final showdown. Seok-do receives an anonymous tip about Jang Chen's hideout, an abandoned factory on the outskirts of the city. The final battle location: an abandoned factory at the edge of the city. Seok-do and his team move in, guns drawn, but Jang Chen is ready. The factory is a maze of shadows, flickering lights, and deadly ambushes. The ultimate face-off: Ma Seok-do versus Jang Chen. A brutal, unfiltered hand-to-hand fight. Unlike his previous fights, Seok-do struggles. Jang Chen is fast, lethal, and merciless. Seok-do takes hits but refuses to go down. He fights with pure determination, landing blow after blow until Jang Chen finally falters. Seok-do dodges a knife attack, grabs Jang Chen's wrist, and dislocates his shoulder. Jang Chen, bloodied, laughs. "You think you're different from me, detective?" Seok-do's final blow. A devastating punch that knocks Jang Chen out cold. The aftermath: Jang Chen is arrested, his empire dismantled. Corrupt officers are exposed and brought to justice. The streets of Garibong Dong are safer, but Seok-do knows this war never truly ends. A final scene at the police station. Seok-do looks at his bruised knuckles as his colleagues praise his victory. But he remains silent, knowing another storm is always on the horizon. Jang Chen's last words haunt him. "There will always be another me." What does it all mean? The gray area of justice. Seok-do's methods are brutal, but are they necessary? The film leaves us questioning the thin line between cop and criminal. Jang Chen's philosophy. He believed power was the only truth. Seok-do proved otherwise, but at what cost? Final scene. Seok-do walks alone. He stops outside a bar, the same place where it all began. He smirks, takes a sip of his drink, and the screen fades to black. A post-credit scene teases a new threat. A mysterious figure watches Seok-do from the shadows, hinting that his war is far from over. So, what did you think of the Outlaws? Do you believe Seok-do is a hero, or is he just another necessary evil? Let's discuss in the comments.